E boas pessoal, estamos aqui para mais um vídeo e hoje eu vou estar aqui a reagir a este tipo inglês. Vai dar para ouvir a voz dele, a construir todas as estruturas de Minecraft e eu vou estar a dar notas a ela. Depois, se vocês gostarem deste tipo de conteúdo, eu posso estar a trazer mais vídeos de React. E agora, sem menos enrolações, calma. E já deixem o like, subscrevam-se no canal. Compartilhem o vídeo para todos os amigos que vocês conhecem. Meta 50 likes. E agora sem mais enrolações, vamos para o vídeo.
In this video, I'm going to be taking every major structure that exists in Minecraft and rebuilding it with my own Lego pieces. So let the challenge begin. So I did some research and there seems to be around 25 different Minecraft structures that you can find throughout a normal Minecraft world. Before we start building, we need resources, so I ordered a bunch of official Minecraft sets online. Okay, so everything's built. We got a ton of really cool items and mobs. I got a warden, frog, shulker, and axolotls. I even got hose. And as for the actual sets, we can't use these because I'm making everything from scratch, and this would be considered cheating. I also went ahead and ordered a crap ton of bulk parts online. Okay, so I think we're ready to start building now. Let's start with structures we can find in the overworld. How about a village? First, let's summon our villagers. But to truly make them happy, I'm gonna build them a nice big house to live in with tons of beds. Rest up, boys. And outside this house, we can add a water fountain on one side for drinking, and Steve will also build us a small garden on the other side to grow crops and eat. Good job, Steve. And to really liven this place up, I'll add a few trees and a ton of mobs like these llamas that look really cursed if you remove their noses, and an aggressive bee that doesn't want people near his flower. Wow, this village really do be looking fresh, though. But we're about to ruin these villagers' day, unfortunately, because next up on our list is a pillager outpost. Let's just increase our render distance. Now that's crack-a-lacka. It's a large wooden stone tower for pillagers, which are notorious for raiding villages, so I'm gonna add a large platform up top for them to look out and plan their next attack, and a few finishing details, and now we can go ahead and place this next to our village.
Não deu para. Desculpa, rap.
Done that because now they're fighting. But that's okay because while that's happening, this creeper will tell us what to build next. Make a jungle temple. This is what it looks like in Minecraft, and we're gonna build it in Lego. Jungle temples are large stone structures found in jungle biomes and usually contain lots of loot. But to get to them, you have to survive the booby traps. But while he scores that loot, we're gonna finish this temple adding some vegetation to make it look like it hasn't been explored for thousands.
Mas eu vou avaliar. A parte de dentro acho que já vimos. O templo em si está muito fixe, realmente. Mas eu não fiquei muito satisfeito, então vou dar um 7,5.
Years. And now we have another thing to check off on our list. Now let's go somewhere really cold and icy, cause how about we make an igloo? It's pretty much a tiny house made from snow. So we can start forming the walls of this house, and since Steve is a complete noob that can't build a decent looking house, we're gonna move him into this snow house. So let's add some amenities inside, and in you go, Steve. Let's now add a roof and a few mobs outside. That house do be looking icy though. Now it's time to travel from the freezing cold to the middle of the desert, cause next up is a pyramid. These are pretty cool to run into because they have two special pillars on the front with interesting patterns and a single entrance. And since desert pyramids are made from sandstone, we're gonna need a lot of tan.
Ok, pausamos aqui o vídeo para ver melhor. Ele fez as traps, acho que ele fez as traps. Ficou muito fixe em si, mas também dou um 8. Também vou dar um 8.
Pieces to make one of these, so after some building, I think we've achieved something similar enough to one in the game. Pyramids also have deep wells with treasure on the bottom, just don't step on the pressure plate.
Wait, Steve, what are you doing?
Another thing you can find in the middle of the desert is a well, which is also one of the few places you can find water. And since they're small, they're easy.
A animação do Steve a pôr a água ficou muito fixe. Gostei muito. Eu vou dar um 6.
To make, so just like that, Steve has a place to get water so he can practice his MLG bucket tricks. Oh yeah, the Ender Dragon wanted to remind y'all that this video is sponsored by Dragon City, which is a free mobile game where you can collect over 1,000 dragons with special abilities, breed them, raise them, train them, take them into battle, and build your own dragon empire. This dragon's made out of Lego. If you have friends that play, you can go into PvP battles with them and make your dragon so powerful. Click the link below or scan this QR code. Anyway, back to and the frog we got earlier. Now, swamp huts are tiny wood houses, and on the inside you can usually find a crafting table, cauldron, and a witch.
What are you? Não, desculpem lá. Eu não sei se vocês já encontraram um erro. Não sei. Onde é que está o gato preto? Onde é que está o gato preto? Onde? Não está. Desculpa lá, mas não está.
That was easy money. Next structure. And our last overworld structure on our list, which is also the largest, is a woodland mansion. This house is so big, I'm going to need 9 base plates to make this. Good thing I bought all those bricks earlier.
Detalhe. Estão a ver estas plaquinhas? Calma.
Easy money. Next structure. And our last overworld structure on our list, which is also the largest, is a woodland mansion. This house is so big, I'm going to need 9 base plates.
Oh, estão a ver esta coisa verde? Ele, em vez de precisar uma para cada build, usou 9.
To make this. Good thing I bought all those bricks earlier because this is going to require a lot of pieces. I also have Minecraft loaded on my computer for reference. So I started by forming the first floor, which had some interesting patterns on the exterior walls. Then I went ahead and made the second floor, this time adding a ton of windows. I then went ahead and built a giant roof, but left an opening to build one final level because woodland mansions usually have 3 floors. That's looking pretty spicy, so let's add the last bit of our roof. And honestly, this is still...
Ok. Paramos aqui para observar a mansão. Tinha todos os detalhes do jogo. Amei. Ficou muito fixe a mansão. Pá. Dou 9. Muito fixe. É...
kind of boring, so I say we add some trees and mobs to go around this mansion and really show how big this thing actually is. This has honestly always been a dream of mine, making a woodland...
Não. Retiro. Dou 8. E muita gente vai começar a dizer: mas como é que tu dás 8 a uma build? Não. Olhem para as janelas. Vocês conseguem ver algum andar? Eu sei que já é pedir demais. Mas, pá, eu não vou aceitar uma construção ou...
mansion and Lego, and we actually did it. There you go, that finishes all of our overworld builds.
The old underworld.
Okay, so we just built things you can find overground. Now it's time to build things we can find underground. Let's start with a dungeon, which is a tiny stone room where scary mobs spawn. So I'll go ahead and build a few walls with moss growing on them, add a spawner, and a few chests with loot. And since I hate spiders, it's time to face my fear and include a few of those. Steve, you can go deal with them. Another dark and creepy place you can find underground is in a...
Esqueci-me de dar outra nota. Mas, dou 6. Não ficou muito fixe.
And in mineshaft. So to make one in Lego, I'm gonna fill the cave walls with coal, iron, gold, and diamonds so Steve can get...
E esqueci-vos de avisar uma coisa. Vocês, eu vou tentar... Aqui no último vídeo que eu disse para que eu ia ativar os comentários, não ativei. Eu vou agora tentar ativar os comentários para vocês. Vê se não me esqueço, para conseguirem comentar todas as notas de construções, se vocês quiserem.
Ripped up in the finest armor possible. I'm also going to add wooden supports to keep the cave walls from crashing in, and also a minecart track with a minecart, that way Steve can get around the cave more efficiently. A few more final touches, a chef's kiss, and this place really does look creepy and abandoned. Now, out of all these places...
Magnífico! Oh, vamos voltar aqui para trás. Magnífico. Já assim eram 7. Minérios na parede, gostei muito desse detalhe. Oh. Até gostei, isto tudo talhadinho.
And at the center of the city is a giant portal, so I'm gonna build this in Lego. To get the right detail, I'm gonna use the staggering jumper plate technique, and honestly, that looks pretty satisfying. We can add a few more details, and of course, the one mob you can find in this city, which is...
A Warden deu um ponto à construção. E também os detalhes do fogo e essas coisas à volta também deram um ponto.
And to celebrate this build, let's feed him a hot dog. Our ancient city do be looking fresh. Now, aside from the dark and creepy things you can find underground, something that's...
Claramente que eu também não me estou a queixar que ele não fez a cidade do Warden.
Actually really beautiful to find is an amethyst geode, which is a huge glowing purple crystal. I'm gonna make a section of one that's been cut open. And these geodes have multiple layers of minerals and rocks, like a...
Ficou bom. Don't set for that.
Layer of calcite and a layer of basalt. And it looks like that's all of our underground builds done. So we made things you can find overground to underground, but now it's time to make things you can find underwater. Let's start with Ocean Ruins, and it's pretty much an ancient underwater city. So I'll go ahead and build a large stone tower with a platform up top to add a few drowned. And to make this feel like the ocean, I'll add kelp, a dolphin, pufferfish, and one more drowned.
Wait, Steve, you're dying. Take your underwater breathing potion. Take...
Então, dou 7.
Steve!
Another thing you can find in the middle of the ocean is a shipwreck, which is pretty much an old rotting wooden ship. So I'll go ahead and make this one look like it's sitting on the bottom of the ocean floor. I'll add some coral, kelp, Steve's pet axolotl, and all shipwrecks have a treasure chest, so I'll add one full of diamonds.
Yo, Steve, what are you doing right now, bruh?
And for our final underwater build, let's make an ocean monument. We're gonna need a lot of
Esqueci-me de dar nota à outra. Dou 8.
bricks because this is also the largest structure you can find underwater in Minecraft. They kind of look like pyramids and are made out of these prismarite blocks which have a very unique color. So far it looks kind of boring, so I'm gonna add some
8,5.
arches near the front entrance and even more arches on the very top. To make this feel like the ocean, we can also add some kelp and the mobs that you can exclusively find in this monument, which are guardians. They're pretty much giant creepy fish. And there you go, that finishes our final underwater build. Okay, now it's time to go to a completely different world in Minecraft, the Nether. But first we need to build a Nether portal, which brings me to another structure we haven't built yet, which is a ruined portal. And it's pretty much a regular Nether portal that's been broken. There you go. But to get to the Nether, we need Steve to fix this first. And there you go, now it's time to go to the Nether. Whoa. I can't believe that actually worked. So there's many things you can find in the Nether, but let's start with the Nether Fortress. It's a large, but to get Minecraft. But to get to the Nether, we need Steve to fix this first. And there you go, now it's time to go to the Nether. Whoa.
Gostei de ter já aqui os monstros
I
todos.
can't believe that actually worked. So there's many things you can find in the Nether, but let's start with the Nether Fortress. It's a large fortification with tons of bridges suspended in the air. So first I made 2 pillars out of Lego, and I'll connect them together by a large platform, where on one side I'll add a blaze spawner, and on the other side I'll add a few wither skeletons, which are exclusive mobs you can find here. Another thing you can find in the Nether is a bastion, which is another fortification but protected by these piglins. But in these fortifications you can usually find gold, so I'll go ahead and add raw gold blocks put into portions of the wall.
Bastian, dão
We
7.
can then add our piglins, and generally in these fortresses you can find a lava lake with a platform full of gold in the middle. And it looks like that finishes our Nether builds. Our final world to visit on our Minecraft journey is the End. But first we need to make a stronghold, which is a secret underground room containing a portal to get there. End portals are usually suspended above a pool of lava, and they're exclusive to these strongholds, so I went ahead and built one in Lego. So to have it suspended, I'm gonna use some transparent bricks. And leading up to the portal, I'm gonna add a staircase with a silverfish spawner. This is that one mob that I find annoying and cute at the same time. Frick this silverfish. And just like that, it's time to travel to the end, so let's place down our Eyes of Ender. And there you go, Steve, in you go. Wow, I'm surprised that also worked.
Okay.
Now, surprisingly, the end world traveled to the end, so let's...
Muito bem. Eu já tinha visto a parte toda acender. Eu daria um 7,5. Gostei.
One official structure, and it's an end city. But I just realized making this in Lego might be tricky because there's some crazy gravity-defying physics involved with these buildings. This building is gonna look really pretty with all the purple bricks that I'm about to use. So I started by building a singular giant tower, then wanted to challenge myself to build a few bridges connecting it to other smaller towers, and a few more final touches like improving the roofs, adding lights, adding Endermen, adding Steve, and adding the shulker we got earlier. And it looks like that finished
Se ninguém tiver de acordo, 9,5.
is our one and only end build, which also completes our final structure on our list. Now it's time for the grand finale. Time to put all of the structures I built in this video together. Now that looks pretty cool. I built this all in 4 days, by the way. Thank you, Dragon City, for sponsoring this video. Again, click the link below or scan this code to download the game, get your own starter pack, and have a head start in the game. This was definitely one of the hardest challenges I've ever done, but this is low-key making me want to get on Minecraft, so I'm gonna go do that, and
Então, pessoal, o vídeo já está... Deixa eu... Não sei. Deixem o like, subscrevam-se no canal. Comentem depois qual foi a vossa construção favorita e a nota que dão. E até ao próximo vídeo. Tchau!